The discovery of gold in 1949 saw the establishment of a town called Stilfontein in the northwest province. In the years following that, the town would grow and become host to laborers, including migrant workers. The trend would spill over into other industries as businesses opened their doors at the town, not only targeting locals, but also targeting mine workers. 75 years later, the mining that was a blessing to this area has been turned into a haven for criminals. Illegal miners are now extracting minerals from shafts that were either abandoned or closed without proper rehabilitation. We now get reaction from the South African Council of Churches on what has transpired in Stilfontein and the rescue efforts that had concluded, or at least concluded on part of the state, following a court order this past week. We speak to Acting Chairperson of the South African Council of Churches in the Northwest, Bishop Victor Phalana. Bishop, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. What is the view of the South African Council of Churches in the Northwest about how the Operation Valamgoti had played itself out in Stilfontein over the last couple of months?
First and foremost, we are just grateful that the operation to rescue survivors and to retrieve bodies was a success. We are grateful that we witnessed the company that came, the mine rescue company that came on Monday, started their work, and within 3 days, they managed to save 250 miners, almost 250, and they also they retrieved about 78 bodies. We were really grateful to see that happening after this long standoff between the community and the government. And I think also some misunderstandings right there on what should happen, because we saw with the policy of Valamgoti, people being denied food and water. The government was made aware of the fact that some of the people down there were actually dehydrated and hungry. Some were sick. They were told to go to Shaft 10 to use it as an exit point. But the government was told that some of the people are so weak that they cannot even travel all the way from Shaft 11 to Shaft 10. They were told that some were sick, could not walk, and that some were starving. So there was a bit of, not a big, but a major misunderstanding, and with all the other rhetoric that came, that we will smoke them out, with the rhetoric that came that is a criminal scene, that those people are foreign nationals who are involved in criminality, and we don't defend criminality. We don't defend the syndicates and the kingpins who exploit these vulnerable people from our neighboring failed states coming here to find a better life, because we are surrounded, unfortunately, by failed democracies, failed states, and as a result, people are flocking here, trying to make a better living. We don't ignore that. We acknowledge that is, illegal mining is a crime, and also breaking immigration laws is a crime. But what we expected was give the people an opportunity to come up, assist them, help them to come up, arrest them, and then let them face the law. That is what we expected, but we saw that there was a delay, and we ask ourselves the question, why was there a delay? Because look, just in 1 week, we managed to clear Shaft 11. Everyone has been rescued. Was it for financial reasons or political reasons that these people were not saved on time? Now we have 78 that were rescued this week, but the community, with its own efforts, just using a rope in the last 2-3 months, managed to save about 11 or more. They actually to retrieve 11 bodies. So when we put 78 and 11, then it comes to about 89, at least those that are accounted for. We are still worried about those who are in, we are told by survivors that there are bodies in shaft 10, and we are pleading with the government to come up with a strategy on how those bodies can also be retrieved so that they can be offered, they can be identified and then offered a proper, respectful burial. Yeah, we have this challenge in our country that, you know, when you are an illegal miner and a foreigner for that matter, it looks, you know, as if you don't fall under the Constitution of South Africa, because the Constitution guarantees human rights and human dignity. You are supposed to be protected once you are in this country. But if you are illegal, it is a matter of our immigration officials and also the police to deal with it. But the most important thing for us was save lives. Then you can do the arrest and the rest of things, but save life first. And that is where the disagreement was. But thanks God, the Stilfontein Crisis Committee, made up of Sanko, Makua, Lawyers for Human Rights and other NGOs, Benchmarks Foundation, our own Justice and Peace, and our own Office of Migrants and Refugees, we did try, you know, to do the best even before this week, to see how we can send food down there, but also how we can use the rope to bring people up, one person at a time. Now we feel that we were let down by the government in this instance, and that is why I think that, you know, in our talk with the South African Council of Churches, we will most probably support the initiative for a commission of inquiry so that the truth can come out on what actually happened. Why was there a delay? And is this Valamgodi strategy the best way to deal with this issue? Because Valamgodi also meant people were denied food and water at a particular point until the courts intervened and said, no, food must be sent down. We are not protecting these leaders, so-called leaders, maybe kingpins. Kingpins.
Unfortunately, I do have to.
Violence. Yes.
Unfortunately, I do have to end it there, but I think your sentiment has been well captured there about the distinction of calling for justice and a peaceful resolution, however, not supporting the criminal elements therein. Really do appreciate your time and your insights this evening.